Hey guys, it's Maymay and it's ornament making time. And today I'm going to be using these guys. Now we have these in two sizes, this size and also this larger size, which is really cool. Comes in two pieces. You get both of these, and I'm going to be making, I think I'm going to make two at one time today because I'm going to make ornaments that are tags as well. So let's get started. I'm using gingerbread for this because I think it's going to be super cute. So we'll start with cutting our shapes for the ornaments. Now, I know you guys hate chatter, but I got to tell you this so it'll make sense. So let me grab the little dies here. All right, so you're going to need a circle that is big enough to seal this guy into. And this one works perfect for me. So if you have the Brutus Monroe stitch circle dies, this is the largest one. This is the 4-inch die, okay? Then inside of that, I want to put another circle because what I'm going to do is I'm going to build my scene on the second circle. So I'm not even going to have to stress about building it on the back circle. I'm just going to build it on this loose one in the middle. So I'll be cutting two of these guys. Now, if you don't have these dies, do not stress. I am giving you a PDF that is the shape and size you need. So I'll have that for you guys in the description. All right, let's cut these guys out. So I just dug into my stash and found two colors of blue paper. That's going to be my first background. That'll be like the sky for my scene. So what I'm going to do is cut my smaller circle out of this. So I'm just going to send this down here to this one corner and cut this guy out with my Cuttlebug. Again, if you use the PDF that I'm giving you, you'll just cut that out with your scissors and then just cut this out with your scissors and it'll work just fine. So this will be my sky. And not only the sky, but it's also the piece. They're stuck together here. It's also the piece I'll be building my scene on. Now, for my background piece, I'm just going to use some craft colored cardstock and my larger die. Now, I also had a thought, and that is, since I'm going to make this a tag ornament, I'm going to cut two light colored circles to go on the back of the ornament so I can stamp it with a to and from and do some little decorating back there as well. Okay then, let's get started. So I've got myself some white cardstock. This is just regular Brutus Monroe alabaster cardstock. It's not your mama's. This is not the thicker one, it's the thinner one. And I am going to stamp for myself two of the gingerbread houses. These are going to be my big focal point. And so I'm just going to get this here on the page. I decided to use my Misty for this, and I'll tell you why. I'm going to be using my Finesse ink by Spectra Noir that's made for alcohol marker coloring. And sometimes I find that I want to stamp it twice to get it really dark and black. It usually does a good image, but it's usually a little pale because I'm a versifying girl. So sometimes I struggle with that. So I'm just going to do this one a couple times so I can get it nice and dark. So there it is one time. See, I missed that center. So aren't we glad we did it on the Misty? That is because this ink pad is a little bit convex. I think it's convex. It's not concave. I can't remember. But it sinks in a little bit. So I have to really focus on those center pieces of these bigger images to get that ink. See, now I can see that ink in there. Let me press that down right there. Then, good, but I want it even better. I'm going to do it one more time. This looks actually really good because it got twice. This, since it only got once, it needs it one more time. So I can ink up the whole thing or part of it. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to redo the whole thing and get it even darker. Perfect. That's one. Now I'm going to flip this guy around and see if I can put another one right here. Because remember, I'm going to go ahead and make two of these while I'm at it instead of just making one. So I'll have two of them made. Let's make sure this guy will fit before I go crazy. Oh, he just fits, but that'll work. All right, there's my gingerbread houses. Now, I'm going to run through and stamp different things from the set. I want to get a couple of the gingerbread men, the girl, maybe a girl and a boy. Maybe I'll just do a girl and a boy set. I decided while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and do some of these other pieces. I may or may not want them, but this way, I've got them if I need them. So I'll pick these guys up and stamp them up. It is time to color. And as you guys know, I say it every time, I'm not a fabulous colorist. So I kind of do this little two-color cheat method. So I'm going to start with my lighter color and then come back in with my darker color for shadows. But I'm just going to run around and color this guy in with a lighter color. And he's pretty big, so it takes a little bit. So I'll probably just color and put some music on for you guys to watch because you'll be here all day if we don't do it that way. So here we go. I got my backgrounds cut out and I got all my little pieces cut out. Now, all you need to do at this point is consider this a scene, okay? But what I want you to do is be mindful of where you're placing things. Here's why. I'm going to be using, and we have this in store now. I love this. This is this faux snow. I'm going to be using this as my snow in my little globe because I think it's adorable. But I don't want to cover up a lot of my work, right? I want the snow in there, but I don't want to cover up a lot of my little gingerbread house. See how that can cover that up super fast? So basically what I'm saying is this is going to go a long way. I love this tube that they created so you can cut the little tip off and then load it into those other ornaments, like if you have the little glass ornaments. Anyway, here's what I mean. You can do that with it. Anyway, all right. So here's the other thing I'm thinking. I don't want to I'm gonna set my little house off to one side as much as I can, okay? And I might even trim this. Let me look and see if this is gonna hang out. It looks like it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be inside my little globe like I need it and everything. So I'm gonna let it hang off like that. And then I know where I can place these guys. So I'm gonna set this guy into place. And I think I'm gonna pop it up. I think I can pretty much foam this whole thing. And I think these are so cute. I love making these globes. Y'all know I make them. I guess this is my second year to make these guys. I just love making them. They're perfect little ornaments. But for me, I like putting them, I think they're cute to put on gifts. And I think my mama started that in me. She loves to do ornaments as tags or put ornaments on gifts because then a person can reuse those from year to year if they like to. So I'm going to put some tape here. Let me trim this down a little bit more. I think I want some more at the bottom. Now, I'll tell you something I learned last year. Take the time to be sure these are glued in really well. I had a poinsettia I did last year, and I did several of them, and all of them were fine except for one. I did not take the time to use a little extra art glitter glue on top of this, so I wanted to make sure that I put a little art glitter glue on this one so it doesn't move. I was able to get into my one from last year and glue that poinsettia down, but I don't want that to happen again. So what I'm going to do is just add a touch of art glitter glue here and there as a precaution, just to keep it all. Because once you seal this guy up, you can't really get back in there. All right, so I'm going to let that hang off a little bit. I'll take that chimney right to that tippy top, and if I need to trim it, I will, but I shouldn't need to. So this guy's going to live like that. That's so cute. Then I'm going to pop this guy up, and I'm thinking I'm not going to make him look like he's actually standing. You could, but I kind of like the idea of kind of having him sideways, like as if these were cookies that were laid on top of each other. I don't know. I think I might want him, I don't know. He wouldn't really stand midway of the door, but if I just wanted him to look like he was a cookie laying there, I think that's how he would go. So I'm going to pop him up on top of this house. So that means I just need a little bit of foam to one side of him, to this side. So I don't even need foam all over him. And that means I definitely want to add art glitter glue because that little bit of foam will probably come loose over time. So let's lay him in here like he's just nestled next to the little house. And see, that lifts him up. And then I think I'm going to glue this little candy cane in his hand, behind his hand. I'm just going to stick that up there. So he's holding that little candy cane. Again, trying to stay high so my snow can go real low. Makes sense? All right, so there's that one. Let's do this one. I'm going to lay this one out the same way. You could switch them up if you wanted to. You might even could get more house in your circle if you did it the other side. Let's look. Like all of that's pretty much going to fit. Let's see how that one's looking. I didn't even test it. See, that's good. I might need to trim that house just a little bit. I think I'll do the same on this one, and we'll come to this side. Yeah, that's what we'll do. So we'll do them opposite so you can see them both and make a decision. I love any excuse I get to use this Ginger Fred set. I love it. And for those of you who don't know, so my mother named this set Ginger Fred. She was talking about Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire, and she was like, oh, Ginger Fred. And I was like, oh, that's cute. So we went with it. We tend to do that around here. We like silly names. I thought about giving her the little pastry bag, but I think I'm going to give her the candy cane too because I think the red and white will pop really well inside of there. And if you need to, you can certainly glue this down before you do what I just did. Like you can glue the little candy cane down before you put her in there. But I'm a hindsighter, apparently. So we'll use our pokey tool to help us squish that into place. There we go. Now, I could put a sentiment in here, but I don't think I want to. I think I just want this little guy in there. Let me see how you're looking in your globe. See, that's super cute. I do want to trim the house a little bit. I'm trying to decide if I want to trim it on the circle. I think I'm going to. I'm going to be brave. So if you don't like it, remember this when you do yours. Look, I was brave. I was brave. See, that's super cute. Let's see what I need to do on the other one. I think I got it pretty close. I am going to trim. I'm just going to be brave again. Let's be brave. It'll still be cute. The snow will cover most of it anyway. Look how cute that is. And this one is cute too. All right. Didn't need the piping bag after all. Let me bring these where you guys can see them. So there they are like that. Let me get my little back pieces. These are the pieces that these guys are now going to live on top of. And I want to foam this up as well. So I'm going to load the back of this guy with foam. I'm going to go ahead and use some art glitter glue again as a precaution. And then I'm going to just center this down on this piece, making sure I leave myself plenty of edge to glue my ornament down to. So see, now my ornament has plenty of room to be glued down, just like that. Well, not like that, with my piece at the top there. So like that, that's how that'll go. All right, let's do the other one. Can't you see this glue down to a card? Wouldn't this be super cute, just this on a card? Too cute. So I'm going to do a little hindsighting, which may be a bad thing. So you might want to do this ahead of time. I told you I'm a hindsighter. I do things and then I think about it after the fact. What I mean by this is I'm going to try to stamp in here probably when I shouldn't. I probably should have done this ahead of time. But I'm going to use some VersaFine Onyx Black, which is nice and strong. It'll show really well. And I'm taking the sentiment that says a little loving from the oven. And I'm going to press it right here and hope that I get a good impression. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, do that ahead of time. Don't do what I'm doing. Do as I say do, not as I do. I got lucky on that one. Let's see if I can get so lucky on this one. Yes. Oh, I missed a little bit. I missed that little bit at the top. Let's try it again right there. Got it. Whoo. Okay, do that ahead of time. Don't do what I just did. Yeah, it needed that little sentiment there. Okay, now for the biggest tip of the day. That is the static cling that you can get inside of these little balls. Here's what you want to do. Use your powder tool. And you can use either one, or you can use a static dryer sheet, okay? If you have a dryer sheet. I'm at work and don't have any dryer sheets, but I'm going to take my powder tool and run it around in here in hopes that I will get rid of static, because those little styrofoam balls can be staticky. I also have a plan for them, because I want to avoid static. All right, so there's that. Let's do this side. Now I'm going to take these guys and just pat them with my powder tool, just like so, and then blow off that excess. Now on these guys, real quick, I'm going to go ahead and do my to and from on the back. So this is the to and from one of the tag builder sets that we have. I'm going to use this. So this will be a perfect little tag to give to somebody. I'm just going to place these where I want them. So for one of my top tip videos, I showed you where you can use an eraser to move your stamps around to line them up so you can get them laid out pretty good. So there's that one. So now I'm going to pick this up with my block and stamp to and from. Bring my ink over. To and from. And then on the other side. Does anybody else do that? Do you say it in your head when you release? Like, to and from? I do. It's a thing. And then I thought it would be cute to add from the Gingerfred set, the little saying that says, the best holiday memories are homemade. I thought this would be cute. And that way, if you wanted to put this on like a food gift, that would be super cute. Cute. And while I'm stamping, I'm going to do a little more. I'm going to put some peppermints on up here in the corner. Just some little candies. All right, now this guy, I'm going to glue straight down to the back. But you want to make sure you have this facing upward, okay? So that way you know you'll land it on there just right. I'm going to use some art glitter glue. You might know who this is going to, and if you do, you can go ahead and write on it while it's good and flat. But if you don't, just use a marker, and you'll be able to write on it when you come back to it. We'll center this in the middle. Also, you might want to make these ornaments up and don't put this piece on until you know who it's going to. Oh, that's so cute. It's cute just like this. Just poke a hole in it. It's a tag. It is so cute. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's do this guy. Let's flip him over, make sure he's right. You see my pin mark there. Didn't realize that, but it'll hide here for the most part. Now, because I touched these again, I'm going to hit them with my powder tool one more time. You probably should just do this right before you put them in, but just to be safe. Let's play with some of our little styrofoam balls now and see what we get. So I'm going to put some inside of here and see if they're sticking. So just cut the tip off of here. And I don't want too many of them because I don't want to cover up too much of my little people, too much of my seam. I think that may be enough. But do you see how they're sticking to the side? You can see the static in there. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my powder tool again, my powder pillow, and I'm going to rub it in here on them. If you have a fabric softener, put these into a sandwich bag and put your fabric softener on them. And you should be all right. There's a lot of static right there. I'm just going to run this around and hopefully take care of a lot of that static. That seems to have done better. Okay, now then I'm going to glue this guy on. And I'm just going to art glitter glue it on. So I'm going to run art glitter glue around this little piece here. Not so much so that it drips, but just enough to get me started. And when I lay this piece down, I can then come back and add more glue to seal it up. Plus, I'm not using glitter, so if some of this is open a little bit, it really won't be the end of the world because these little balls won't fall out of a tiny opening. If you're using glitter, please make sure you seal it up good. There's nothing worse if you're not a glitter fan like me than to get a gift where glitter goes everywhere. Okay, so now I know I can center this guy on. I want to make sure I have him in the right position. I'm going to sit that there, and then I'm going to turn it over before it starts to dry so I can place things where it goes. Doing all that static work was worth it. I'm just kind of running my finger around to make sure the glue is where it needs to be. Cute, cute. All right. Now I'm going to come back around here and I'm just going to add a little more glue. This glue will dry clear and matte. And I want to make sure this thing is good and sealed. All right, I'm going to leave that one to dry and do the other one. On this one, I'm going to try it a little different. I'm going to run my glue right around this little dotted edge because I think that's pretty much where it ends up. And then I don't have to do it twice, I don't think. We'll see. We'll try it a couple of ways. Also, while I'm doing this, I would suggest not using your powder tool. If you're at home, use your dryer sheet for what we did with that because it won't leave any powder and you'll get a much clearer ornament. I'm just not where I have that. So you know me, I use what I've got and that's what I've been doing. All right, let's glue this guy down. Yeah, that was definitely easier. Definitely. So I'm gonna hold that into place. Get all my little snowballs out of the top. That's so cute. All right, we are ready to let these dry and then add a little bow to the top. Okay, now we're gonna do a little bow. And I'm just going to take my ribbon, make a loop around here, and tie a little bow. You could also do a bunny-eared bow if you're more comfortable with that. But I'm just going to let this start my bow and play with it a little bit and pull and tug until I get it like I want it. And that looks pretty good. I actually can let it be pretty big on my ornament because, you know, it's going at the top and I've got plenty of room for it. So now I'm just going to cut this here. And then this little tail here. And I can still play with it once I get it on the ornament. But that is my bow. Okay, now let me show you how I'm going to put this all together. So I'm trying to keep my ornament up like this. And I'll tell you why. Oh, I dented that one. Let me fix it back. I'll tell you why. If you lay it down to dry, some of your little snow beads are going to go up there to the top and stick like that. I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to sit it over there and let it kind of dry straight up or leaning forward. So while this is drying, or actually I would do this after this dries. I'm rushing it for the video, but you don't rush it. Wait till after it dries. I'm going to fold this ribbon on itself a couple times and then feed it through that little hook opening there, the little hole, and then pull this forward. And the knot will hold our little loop into place like so. And then I'm just going to hot glue my bow on top of this to kind of hide my working. So I got my glue gun and I'm going to put some hot glue here and let it run across the knot and down. And then I'm going to let my bow live there. Just put my bow and tuck my tails on And I think I'm going to add a little jingle bell right there, but I'm going to give it just a second. So that's what that's going to look like. Isn't that cute? With a little jingle bell, which I'm just going to hot glue on. All right, I'm going to stand that up and keep that drying. Now, I've already laid this one down one time, so I'm just going to lay it down again, and I'll put this little bow on as well. I'll put a little glue here for my jingle bell. And I'm not really using this for jingling, mostly just for looks. So just a little jingle bell there to finish that off. Might even put two on there, one to one side and one to the other. Let's try it. So there is one little tag done. Let's do the other one. Tag, ornament, whichever one you want to call it. And I think I'm just going to put the one jingle bell right here. Of course, if you want them to jingle, you'll want to put them on a little string or something so they can. This will kind of stop the jingle, but it's cute just to have a little something up there. Just to kind of set that off. Look how adorable this is. I love it. Now let these dry completely before you start bringing the little beads up around the edge or they'll glue on. And also use your dryer sheet. The powder tool was not a great idea. I can see through these, but they get kind of foggy when I shake the little beads up because I've got the powder on the beads. So don't do that. Use the dryer sheet instead and it'll work just fine. And let me show you this. I'll put these guys over here so they can keep drying. And I want to show you, look how much of this I have left. I hardly used any of it. I mean, hardly any of it. And I just taped it back up so I can use it for more ornament. So this stuff goes a long way. So there you go. I'm going to bring this one back over. I think the pink is my favorite. I love pink at Christmas. My mom does a room in pink at her house, and this reminds me of her house. Super, super cute. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Another way to make a little tag or to make an ornament for your tree. And I love it. I hope you do too. I cannot wait to see what you guys do. Y'all always do better than me. You always make cuter projects than me. And if you want some inspiration, you need to head to our website called maymaymadeit.com and look at our customer gallery. You can add your projects there and also see other projects that have been done by our viewers. You will be amazed. Hey, thanks so much for watching today, guys. And until next time, bye-bye.